Hey, it's Mr. J, and I have another LEGO model that I want you to check out. This beauty right here. It's a microscale version of a Russian Akula Class submarine, also referred to as the Typhoon Class by NATO. This LEGO version consists of 2,886 parts, and while it's a smaller scale than most of my designs, I was still able to give this model lots of detail and include some interior spaces as well. And what's even cooler is not only are there instructions available for this model, there's also a way you can get it as an actual kit. But I'll be going over that more later in the video, so make sure you stick around as you won't want to miss it. Now, before I go over all the features of this model, it does make sense to give you some information on the actual submarine itself. The Akula Class were a type of Russian nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines designed and built by the Soviet Union during the Cold War. At a length of 175 meters and with a beam of 23 meters, these submarines were absolutely massive. They stand as the largest subs ever built by any navy in the world, and of the 7 planned, 6 were actually built and operated from 1981 to 2023 when the last one was decommissioned. When it comes to weapons, these submarines packed quite the punch. Aside from being equipped with 6 torpedo tubes, the primary armament was a devastating complement of 20 intercontinental ballistic missiles. And if this sub looks familiar to you, it probably means that you've seen the movie The Hunt for the Red October, which is a fantastic movie, by the way. It's actually the reason I wanted to build this sub in the first place. This is because as far as submarines go, out of all the different sub designs in the world, I personally think the Akula Class looks the coolest and most aggressive, which makes sense when you consider what they were built for. Anyways, the movie features a modified version of the Akula Class that adds an additional 12 meters to the length and 3 to the width. And with that extra size comes an additional 6 nuclear missile silos, bringing the total up to 26, as if the original 20 wasn't enough. So suffice to say, if you can't tell, these submarines were some of the deadliest machines to operate during the Cold War and subsequent years thereafter. And while this covers the very basics of these submarines, there is of course way more to them than what I've mentioned here, but this video is about the LEGO version, so let's take a look at that now. Since this is based on an actual submarine that existed in real life, it was important to me to get the scaling and overall shape as accurate as possible. As for dimensions, the length is 26.5 inches or 62.7 centimeters. Now if you include the stands, the width and the height are actually the same at 6.8 inches or 17.2 centimeters. If you remove the stand, the height goes down to 5.4 inches or 13.8 centimeters. For this model, you can easily display it with or without the stand. For exterior features, let's start at the stern. At the very back, we have 2 large propellers with posable stabilizers behind them. The bottom rudder can also be turned, and so can the upper tail fin rudder. As for the sides of the ship, both the starboard and port side are mirrored. I've tried to add lots of little details such as vents, grills, and water inlets. These details are subtle, but they add a nice touch. And just like the submarine in real life, you can see that the top half of the ship is black and the bottom half is dark red. I also added this thin gray line separating the 2 halves to provide a bit more contrast. Closer to the stern, we can find the water scoops as well as the fixed end plate either side of the propellers. As for the bow, I've really tried to capture the rounded curve look as I feel it's a prominent feature of the Akula Class sub. And of course, on either side, we can find the bow hydroplanes, which are also posable. Looking at the ship from above, you can see I've added some more subtle greebling at the bow, and of course for extra detail, I've added these 20 half-rounded tile pieces which represent the nuclear missile hatches. In real life, these hatches open up to allow the missiles to be launched. Lastly, for the exterior, we have this upper section including the control room and the upper structure containing extendable equipment, such as the radar and satellite communications antenna. I also added this little opening right here as this would be an entry point to the sub, and it's also where Captain Ramius and Borodin are standing at the beginning of the Hunt for Red October. As for the stand, while it is relatively simple, it's very stable and sturdy. It has 2 legs with studs that can be inserted into the bottom of the model. Since there are studs, doing this actually attaches the stand directly to the model, meaning you can easily move the whole thing around either by grabbing the stand or the model itself. As far as removing the stand goes, it's as easy as holding the sub in one hand, the stand in the other, and pulling them apart. Now before we check out the interior, you may be wondering how strong this model is. Well, I'm happy to say that it is very dense and very tough. I mean, just let me whip it around for you. Do some karate moves. Yeah. Pretty strong, pretty sturdy. I'm actually going to hand it here to my 6-year-old son, and he's going to whip it around for you a little bit. Give her, bud. That was not part of the plan. So yeah, let's take a look at the interior spaces. So, this model has several sections that can easily be removed, granting access to the interior. Now, full disclosure, since the model is microscale, some liberties were taken with the interior simply because there wasn't a lot of space to work with. And while it's not 100% accurate, it is close enough to get the point across. Starting at the bow, there are panels on either side just behind the bow hydroplanes that can be removed. Once removed, we can see the torpedo room. There are 3 torpedoes on either side and lots of controls and mechanical gear to help sell that submarine look. Moving to the center, we come to the main interior feature of this model. This entire top panel can be removed, which grants access to the full arsenal of nuclear missiles. There are 20 of them, just like the submarine in real life. They are attached to the model by 1 stud each and can easily be removed if desired. Here's what the missile silo section looks like with all the nukes removed. Moving all the way aft, the top superstructure and side panels can also be removed. This grants access to a much larger interior space. On the starboard side, we can see cabins with beds, storage and technical panels, as well as the control room. On the port side, you can see a small galley area, engineering and electrical sections, more cabins, and the other side of the control room. At the very back of this space, we can see what is supposed to represent a nuclear reactor. Now in reality, this ship actually has 2 nuclear reactors on either side for redundancy, but again, I was limited by space, so I just compromised and went with 1 in the center. Now, that pretty much covers all the features of this LEGO sub, and overall I'm pretty happy with the results. It's a cool looking model in my opinion, and I feel I did a decent job of capturing the aesthetics and characteristics of its real life counterpart. Now you may be wondering how you can build this thing yourself, and the great news is there's 2 ways you can do it. For option 1, I do have the instructions available for purchase on Rubricable, link is in the video description. Purchase not only includes a set of highly detailed instructions, but you also get the parts list in PDF format and Excel format. Additionally, you will also get the Bricklink Studio file for the model. This is the digital file that I use to design the model itself. You can use this file to alter the model in any way you see fit, and you can even upload it directly into Bricklink to use as a parts list for ordering parts. I've tried to make this process as convenient as I can for potential builders. Naturally, if you go this route, you will have to source and organize the parts all yourself, which can be time consuming and expensive depending on where you live. Now, if that doesn't sound very favorable to you, you may be more interested in option 2. Recently, I've partnered with a company called Letbricks, and they have decided to mass produce this model as an actual building kit, which is available on their website. Link is in the video description. Now, this isn't just another knockoff brand with low quality standards, quite the opposite in fact. Letbricks has produced this set to be as close to a legitimate LEGO experience as you can get without LEGO pricing. The kit comes in a customized box with full graphics. The kit is organized into step-by-step numbered bags just like a LEGO kit. And what's even cooler is that it comes with an actual set of printed instructions that are highly detailed and easy to follow. And as far as parts quality go, instead of just telling you, I can actually show you firsthand because Letbricks, well, they've sent me one and I have it built. So let's take a look. Here's the LEGO version and the Letbricks version side by side. The LEGO version is on the left and the Letbricks version is on the right. As you can see, the aesthetics of the Letbricks version are identical, and it has the same features as the LEGO version. This even includes being able to remove all the panels from the sub to access all the interior spaces as well. It is literally a 1-to-1 match with the LEGO version, and to say I'm happy with the quality would actually be an understatement. What's even cooler is that the Letbricks version includes a sticker sheet with the model. This allows the builder to add even more aesthetic details to the sub, something the LEGO version can't offer. And the real selling point of this kit is that it's going to be way more wallet friendly than trying to build it out of Lego. Letbricks has it on sale right now for $185, and you can even get it 15% off if you use the discount code MJB, which stands for Mr. J Builds. After building it myself live on stream, I can absolutely vouch for the quality, and I think you'll be very happy with the result if you end up getting this model yourself. So that about wraps it up for this model. Please let me know what you think in the comments. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing as it really does help the channel grow, and I would appreciate it quite a bit. So with that, I want to thank you for checking out the video. I'm Mr. J, and you have a good day. Peace.